So there you go, folks. There it is. Here's your 250 podium with Angus, Sean, and Angus, Leon, and Sean over there. So well done, guys. 250 production.
All right, underway here. Gixxer Cup action. And Jesse Stroud gets a great little jump there off the inside, but he said it's Mr. Gow. He's at neutral there or something, Spider. So what drama here? Jesse Stroud hitting neutral, I think, maybe. They head into turn one, and it's going to be...
He's just going to get swamped. Just absolutely swamped. In fact, he's back in about 12th or 13th spot. So watch for some fireworks from young Jesse Stroud.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw Zach Fuller win. He was qualified on 9th place, so there's plenty of time for him to make back some moves. But there we go. We see the 27 Caleb Gilmore there in the S's with the 3 of Clark Fountain there in 2nd place, and it looks to be already action aplenty. There's Zach Fuller up in 5th place as well. So we watched them into the left-hander, and we've had some electric racing from these guys so far this weekend, and nothing to suggest we won't get more of the same here. With there we go. There's Curtis Boyd up there as well in 3rd place.
Jesse Stroud in 7th place. Jesse Stroud way back in 7th. So he qualified fastest, leads the points at the moment on 22 points. 22 points ahead of Zach Fuller. We go back 16 back to Clark Fountain, and we go back another 52 points to Justin Maunder, and then 7 points to Shane Miller. That's the top 5 in the class. There's also a separate series running for the Gixxer Cup. There's $10,000 worth of Suzuki money for that, and that combines the points from the first 2 rounds of the Suzuki Series. Forget the cemetery circuit, because some riders weren't eligible there, not old enough to run there, and the New Zealand Superbike Championship. So this is a Superbike Championship. We've also got that other Gixxer Cup class. So action pretty great to have Suzuki on board, providing all these bikes and the riding gear. It was Alpine Stars and Bell helmets last year. $6,000 bought you the package, and great to see a lot of these graduates from this class moving up into other classes. Change of position for the lead, 94 thousandths of a second between Zach Fuller and Caleb Gilmore, but I think Caleb's got it on the 27 machine as they go into turn 1, the Toyota corner. 7 laps to go. 7 laps to go here with I think 15 bikes on the track. 15 bikes. Where's Caleb Stroud? He's not featuring on the timing here.
Yes, I'm not sure if we've got him in the update there, but there we go. Clark Fountain ahead of Caleb Gilmore, and then go back. We see the little Jesse Stroud update. He's already up into 3rd place ahead of Zach Fuller in 4th. So we'll try and keep an update of all exactly the same colour schemes. So it's a commentator's nightmare to try and tell these guys apart. Now they've slowly differentiate the leathers a little bit and different colour helmets, but it is the blue helmet. That's Clark Fountain out in front, but Caleb Gilmore's going to sneak up beside him and take the lead into Higgins. There's Jesse Stroud in 3rd place with Zach Fuller there in 4th. So they
Zach's
go
easy
into
to pick.
Higgins.
He's got the bright orange leathers on, the orange on one side, I think they're white on the other, so he disappears into the mix there. But up the centre straight you can see the orange. Beautiful Alpine Star leathers. 4 bikes here, almost 4 wide. In fact, they will pull up 4 wide. This is how they were gridded almost on the start-finish line. So who's going to have the biggest set of brakes into that big Go Media sweeper? I think they're all going to be relatively even match. We saw a massive crash there on the final lap in the first race today there. 3 bikes got taken out there. All the guys okay. Right now, down on the front straight, someone taking it wide into the slip road area there. 3 side by side coming across the start-finish line. I'm going to say, what's that? 0.001 of a second between Jesse Stroud and Caleb Gilmore. So Jesse Stroud from 7th place up into the lead, but only by 1,000th of a second there, Brad Ritchie.
Yeah, he's just done enough to hold the line into turn 1. So there it is, Jesse Stroud ahead of Caleb Gilmore. Then we go to Clark Fountain and Zach Fuller. They're in 3rd and 4th position. So brilliant stuff. There's Luca Durning up there. He's got the new bike. His one swapped out for this one. There's Curtis Boyd up there in as well. So we've got all the main guys from the last race all in there as well. So as they crossed the line, it was Jesse Stroud in there ahead of Curtis Boyd in there as well. Look at that, brilliant stuff. Someone's nearly on the grass out there, so we're using every inch of the track they've got, but Jesse Stroud will lead Clark Fountain ahead of Zach Fuller. Then go back to that's Caleb Gilmore there in 4th place. Luca Durning up there in 5th, so they pile into Higgins, and this is a massive 8-lapper, so there's still 5.5 laps to go as they scream around Higgins. And look at that, there's a 4-pack ahead and then another 5, so I reckon that's about 10 bikes there, all fighting for the lead here, Spider. It's all on.
Don't forget our 2 young ladies, Lucy Dowman and Sarah Humphrey. Lucy from Whanganui, she's riding with an injured finger after a crash yesterday, and Sarah Humphrey from Palmerston North. They're running at the tail end of the field, number 32 for Lucy Dowman and number 14 for Sarah Humphrey. Lucy also does the school the school racing in November, and also races on a sidecar as well. But here we go, 4 wide coming down the front straight. We have 1,000th of a second separating first and second. We're going to see a similar split, 95 thousandths and 3 thousandths of a second back to Zach Fuller in third, 49 thousandths of a second. These are averaging 113 k's an hour. In fact, we've got 114 k's an hour from Jesse Stroud, who's now back into fourth place. So look at that, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 bikes out in that lead pack. Gixxer, we could have another event on the rest of the track pretty much.
Absolutely brilliant. So there we go, into the S's, and it is going to be the 27 of Caleb Gilmore, then the 26 Curtis Boyd, the 3 of Clark Fountain, and that's your top 3. Then go back a little bit to Jesse Stroud, and then we see the update there from Hamish Simpson now up into that top 5 group as well. He's got the orange wheels out there, so brilliant to see him now battling it out up there. So all over this racetrack, and look at that, they're going to be 3 wide in the battle for second place, and Jesse Stroud is looking to push up into the lead even. So look at how important the slipstream is. Absolutely vital to get a good tow down the straight. But yeah, 10-way battle for the lead, and this is going to come down to the wire with still 4.5 laps to go.
The lead bikes slip back to 4th place. That's how incredible this racing. In fact, they slipped back to 5th place there. I think that was either Caleb Gilmore or Clark Fountain there. Look, still nothing in it. 9 bikes there. There's 1 dropped off at the back. That's Zach Fuller with the orange leathers, I think, that's dropped right off. He was an early leader.
Yeah, there we go, into turn 7. So this is absolutely brilliant stuff to see as we catch the update. There wasn't much in it when they crossed the line last time round. Here they are, they're a big 10-man swarm coming through. There it is, Jesse Stroud ahead of, Curtis Boyd up there as well with Clark Fountain, Caleb Gilmore, and then there's Zach Fuller now up to 5th place already. So all that stuff he was suffering from down the back straight, he's already back up into 5th place. But here we go, there's nothing in it, and 4 more laps to go, and it's all on here.
35.6 is a lap record. The fastest we got at the moment is at 35.645. In fact, we've got a new lap record there. 35.688 we had Cameron Goldfish. 35.645 for number 15 Jesse Stroud, who is now sitting back there in, where is he? He's in the lead. He's in the lead across the start-finish strike. Oh, look, he's got a good gap there too. He's got a good gap. That's about 12 bike lengths, so none of the other riders can get into a slipstream at the moment. They come out of the hairpin there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 bikes. Impressive racing all the way through. Gixxer Cup's a lot tidier racing than we had last year. It'll be all on for the final lap, but in the meantime, we've got 4 laps to go, 3.5 laps of the Gixxer Cup class.
Absolutely brilliant stuff. They fly into Higgins. Awesome little right hand on these 150cc single cylinder machines, and with the Mead Speed stainless steel exhaust system on them, gives them a couple of extra horsepower. And have a look at them, 10-way fight for the lead with Jesse Stroud out in front of this one. But look at this, they're getting a bit of a slipstream going on at the moment, and Clark Fountain's going to pull out around the outside. There's Curtis Boyd in there as well as they fire around turn 7, and not many classes you can get a slipstream in the middle of the corner, but these guys are all on, tucked in around the outside, 10 of them swarming towards the finish line. There's still going to be 3 laps to go when they cross the line, but Jesse Stroud sneaking out a little bit of advantage. There's Clark Fountain in there with Caleb Gilmore now pushing up into 2nd place. So this is brilliant stuff to see. And have a look at that 10-way fight for the lead of this no other class like it. There's 4
It's just
wide
like
into
turn 1, isn't it? Turn 1 at the beginning of the race. It's exactly, and we're about 3 laps to go. Incredible racing. Caleb Gilmore wearing RST leathers. He's a bit easier to pick up than the rest of them, but look at those massive battle from at the back of that 10-way one. Somebody wiggling around quite a bit there in the midfield. Can't quite pick him up. They've got the orange belly pad. This is probably Harry Parker's old bike because he was running orange, or was he running yellow last year? Jesse Stroud's got this thing in control. 1:35.645, the fastest lap of the race. 1:35.680 in the last lap. So just very, very close lap times in that. No chance when you make a mistake in a corner of grabbing a handful of throttle and trying to ride out of it, because there is not very much power. They're about 17 horsepower, and that brings the racing close like it is, of course. It's just such close racing all the way through. Don't forget our young ladies out there, Lucy Dowman and Sarah Humphrey, still just absolutely having a good time running the number 32 and number 14. Don't know what happened to Caleb Stroud. He had a big crash there with on the final lap of the final corner in the last race. It looked like his bike was all fixed, but something going on there. So unfortunately no Caleb Stroud out there, but Jesse Stroud out there in the front. That's the biggest lead I think I've seen in the Gixxer Cup in the last 2 years. Yeah, Jesse Stroud's got a great battle there going on between Clark Fountain, Caleb Gilmore and Zach Fuller there for 2nd, 3rd and and fourth. Somebody else taken to the tarmac over the ripple strip. So all the boys and girls pushing it to the limit there. Zach Fuller gets past there. Something going on.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Zach just waving them forward, trying to work together to try and reel in Jesse Stroud there. They've got to try and work as a peloton and try and get some good drafting and slipstream work. So Jesse Stroud, he's got a decent enough advantage. It's probably 15 bike lengths at the moment as they swing around turn 2 and in the run to the S's. So this is a great performance. Jesse Stroud, the Team Lizard Racing supported machine out there. And then we go back to this great little battle for second, third and fourth with Clark Fountain, Caleb Gilmore and Zach Fuller there. We go back to I think Luca Durning's up there with Curtis Boyd in fourth and fifth place. But this is all Jesse Stroud at the moment. They're going to have to try and work together down the centre straight, the Denny Holmes straight here at Circuit Chris Amon, and see if Clark and Caleb and Zach can all work together and try and catch this man who's bolted at the front.
35.645 best time for Jesse Stroud, 35.846 for Zach Fuller, 35.775 for Clark Down, and 35.809, 35.767, 35.880. In fact, we've got to go right back to 7th place, 8th place before we have the first of the 36. We go back a couple more. Cameron Goldvich at 35.985 there in 10th spot. So Jesse Stroud has got this race under control. We've got 2 laps to go. In fact, 1 and a bit laps to go. The white flag is ready, and it's the battle for the minor money that we're all eyes are on. Jesse Stroud got it sorted. They're coming around that big sweep of 3 bikes. In fact, we can only see 2 there in the second place position. So we're going to look out for the timing. We have 1.184 seconds for lead for Jesse Stroud. It's going to increase now. All eyes on the next 3 bikes there, with number 27 going through there in second place. Caleb Gilmore, Zach Fuller, Clark Fountain there. That's the top 4. Curtis Boyd, Hamish Simpson, Luca Durning, Justin Maunder, Shane Miller, Cameron Goldfish is the top 10. Michael Dowman, Liam Willems, Lucy Dowman and Sarah Humphrey rounds the whole lot up.
Yeah, I can't see anyone having an answer for Jesse Stroud. He runs into the S's with a massive advantage, and these guys still dicing in behind him. I think this is almost a done deal for Jesse Stroud. He's done a beautiful job to get out in front. It's Caleb Gilmore leading him out of the S's with Clark Fountain and Zach Fuller. They're still hammering tongs. That's the battle for the podium, so that'll start coming alive. But Jesse Stroud out at a comfortable margin. I've never ever seen a gap that big in the Gixxer Cup history in the last 2 years, I don't think. So we'll look at that, and now they're even going to go 3 wide and break all the slipstream. So that's going to play right into Jesse's hands as well.
That's very early to do that. There's a lot of confidence there, isn't that, Brad Ritchie?
Absolutely, yeah. I would think that's quite interesting to see them there, and then even the guys behind now are going to catch up to that 3-way battle. So the battle for the podium is now turned into a full 6-way fight. They come in and out of Higgins, and Jesse Stroud, he's got nearly a third of the back straight of as an advantage. It's his one to lose at the moment. He's under control of this one, but then the battle for second has now come alive with everyone involved in that little group. We can see the pink helmet there, Luca Durning, he's up on the inside. He'll have a good line coming into it. There's Caleb Gilmore, he's going to lead them around the final corner, but take nothing away from Jesse Stroud. That's the greatest breakaway we've ever seen in Gixxer Cup history, to my knowledge, and he'll take the checkered flag. So a good recovery for the weekend there. Look behind, Zach Fuller's going to get second with a run to the line, and I think it's going to be the 26 of Curtis Boyd there in third place. We'll have to see what the timing says, but
indeed
I think
it does.
Yeah. So there we go, a good podium. And Curtis Boyd, I'm not sure if Curtis has been on our podium before. No, I don't think we haven't had... and Shane Miller, the Manawatu man, with a new lap record, is it? A 35.5. So local Manawatu man on his home track, and a brilliant new lap record for Shane Miller. So brilliant stuff from the Gixxer Cup, and now we're really starting to come alive. That's Curtis Boyd. He's 6th in the championship, and that is going to be his first podium in this NZSBK championship. So
it's not like these
brilliant.
guys could have taken their bikes away during the off-season and hot them up, because there is no hotting up. So it just shows you how much improved the racecraft is in the Gixxer Cup class. And wow, what a pleasure to commentate for a class so tight. And still got several races to go. We've still got the Super Sport 150, the Pro Twins, and then the 125 Grand Prix Superlight and Superlight B. So Brad, I don't know, what's your favourite brand of motorbike?
Yeah, I'm a Suzuki man. Junior motocross days, I was always on a Suzuki, so I think, yeah, that's my favourite. So got to love the full credit to Suzuki and what they're bringing to this Gixxer Cup.
I must admit, I think I've got about 5 Suzukis there, all from about 79 to about 83 or 4 Suzuki GS1000s. I've ex-Wanganui boy, but the Suzuki's the ones I like. So, but right on the track, my favourite bike is whoever's having a good ride on them.
Absolutely brilliant stuff. And there's our bit of girl power going through there with the number 14 coming through there, Sarah finishing off our brilliant Gixxer Cup 8-lapper in 8 laps. Man, oh man, these boys will be shattered after that. That was some great racing. So there we go with the update. Jesse Stroud, massive 3.79 second victory over Curtis Boyd, who was at 2/100ths of a second ahead of Caleb Gilmore, Clark Fountain, Shane Miller there with a new lap record, Hamish Simpson, Justin Maunder 8th, Luca Durning in 9th, Cameron Goldfish there in 10th place. So that's our top 10 performers in the Gixxer Cup. And absolutely brilliant racing all around. So full credit to the Gixxer Cup. And look at that. Great racing. Coming up next, our 8-lapper for our Supersport 150s. So that's going to be some more great racing out there as well. And just want to catch an update there with Neil. He's down in Park Ferme, ready to go for a Gixxer Cup podium. So we will cross over to Neil, who's got our Gixxer Cup podium. Jesse Stroud, Zach Fuller and Curtis Boyd.
So here we go, Curtis Boyd from Rotorua. Congratulations, Curtis. How does it feel like to be a winner in Gixxer Cup?
Oh, it feels good, eh? But I mean, the whole field out there is so competitive today. Anyone could have taken it. You know, anyone within the top 10, I think it was. So feeling pretty lucky to be up on here, but don't rule anyone out for next round.
No, we won't, but hey, congratulations, because you got there. I got to tell you that Jesse had bolted and you guys behind didn't want to give any advantage away to each other, and you formed a wall rather than a slipstream, and next thing, the group behind you had caught up in that last lap, so there's quite a bit of racecraft to be learned in there.
Yeah, well, no one wanted to slipstream because no one wanted to be first going to the last corner, and I guess that allowed everyone else to catch up, but yeah, I'm not sure how many crossed the line at the same time, but it was a fair few.
And you just pipped a couple of good guys there with the likes of Caleb, who'd been up here last time, and young Clark. That proved to be hot shots as well. So learning so much. You're going to be at Taupo next week for the final?
Yeah, we'll be at Taupo next weekend.
So what do you think you've got out of the series for your debut year?
Oh, a lot of racecraft, I guess, eh? You know, came in here being scared to go into the braking zone with someone else, but now there's 7 people going into the same braking zone, so yeah, it's just, I guess, learning the racecraft and learning how to ride a bike properly.
Well done. What a great story. There you go, folks. Curtis Boyd, a brand newcomer to the podium here in Suzuki Gixxer Cup action. Fantastic. Zach, you're starting to become a little bit of an experienced hand up here, but you just can't let your guard down, can you? Because if you make a minor mistake, you're back in 10th place in a hurry.
Yeah, I dropped back quite a bit, which I back to about 8th, and Jesse slipped away, which is a bit of shame, but yeah, it's extremely tight out there. It's pretty good fun, really. Yeah.
All right, what's the secret to get on the top step next weekend at Taupo? Do you like that place?
Yeah, I do like Taupo. It's a pretty good track, and I seem to go pretty good there, so I'll try and get the championship, I guess, yeah.
Oh, well done, well done. Well, Jesse, that's much better than crashing on the final corner of the last lap, as you did last time. A bit of bad luck, but how did that one feel?
Oh, I actually saved. I didn't fall off, but my brother Caleb fell off, so it was a bit sad to see. So.
Okay, so it was a good save, but it's proving much tighter than this class was, even back if you compare it to our Suzuki series here 3 months ago. It's now much tighter.
Yeah, just everyone's up there now. Everyone's been doing the nationals and then we're up to speed. It just makes it so competitive. Like the other 2 races got 5th and 6th, so it's a bit of a bummer, but yeah, it's just so interesting. Like, you don't know what place you're going to get. It's all just so competitive.
Right, what's your secret to being back here at Taupo next weekend?
Just push real hard and try to beat these guys. It's quite hard work, and just hope I can do it.
Let's hope I can do it. There you go, folks. There's your champions of the future, Suzuki in the Gixxer Cup. Well done. There you have Jesse on the middle here with Zach, and a brand new man on the podium, Curtis Boyd. Well done, guys.
Yeah, thank you for that, Neil. We are back here racing in an 8 lap of the Super Sport 150, and looked to be a great start there from our man off pole position with we've got all sorts of different bikes in this one. So we've got it looks like the green machine, Esmond Williams might be the highest hung out there in